Hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. It is Monday the 16th of June. Transfer window officially has opened once again. Why close it in the first place? God knows. But hey, it is what it is, I guess, at the end of the day. But of course, transfer window is again open. And of course, big expectations for me as an Arsenal fan regarding Arsenal. And today, on the cards, we have talks about Nico Williams, because all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the talks about Nico Williams have skyrocketed into stratosphere, because we had a quite a bit of quiet period, because there were talks that Nico wants to resign with Athletic Bilbao, then he doesn't, then he's linked with Bayern Munich, and all of a sudden, late last evening and today, he's been linked with Arsenal once again. So we definitely gonna talk about that. We're going to talk about Jorrel Hato, because he seems to resurfacing once again on the Arsenal's radar. And on top of that, of course, Watkins apparently has been identified as the third choice. Is that surprising anyone? No, it's not. Let's be real. But we're going to definitely talk about that. And of course, the big question still remains: Gyokeres or Benjamin Sesko? Of course, regarding that, we're going to spend on it as less time as possible, because I kid you not, I'm kind of sick and tired already talking daily about Benjamin Sesko and Victor Gyokeres, saying the same stuff, just in around the circle, and where they're going to land, nobody knows at this current stage, because it genuinely feels like even Arsenal don't know who they want at the end of the day. But yeah, we're going to talk about all that. But yeah, just before we get into all the stuff, smash the like button if you haven't already. Helps the stream out, helps the share of word around. More people will come in, more people will chat, and all that good stuff. Of course, subscribe if you're new around here, aiming for that 1K. The road to 1K is going strong. 2 months till hit that 1K mark. That is my aim, at least. Will we hit it or not? It remains to be seen. And of course, leave your thoughts down the live chat, because we need to tackle them. We need to discuss them. Just anything we can discuss. Let's be real. Not necessarily transfers. We can talk about anything you want. But ultimately, yeah, let me know what concerns you regarding Arsenal or any other topic, so we can basically talk about that. Big up Greenland. Big up how many defenders? We are linked, at least at the moment, if I'm not mistaken, with one coming in and maybe one or two going out. After that, it's been quite dead silent. Overall, it's been quite vague links still. It's nothing too concrete, but we'll see how things develop, because for many teams, as it is for also Real Sociedad, hence why apparently we haven't signed Zubimendi, the new books for calendar year regarding football begins on July 1st. So maybe they want to basically write it off on those expenses, basically. Maybe that's the reason why there is not much circulation. But we'll see. That's definitely not an excuse, especially if you're Arsenal, for example. For me, looking at what Liverpool, Chelsea, City have done, what Spurs are doing, even other teams are doing, definitely for Arsenal, the fact that it's July 1st, we have to wait, it's definitely not an excuse. But we're going to get into all that. We're going to discuss it, and let me know what you think in the comments as well. And what we're gonna kick things off today, interestingly enough, well, basically to ease into things, which will be a very big topic once it actually gets released, because it's gonna happen on Wednesday. It's being released on Wednesday, but the Premier League schedule is being released on Wednesday. For the next season, this Wednesday, 9 a.m. UK time, so that's 11 a.m. my time, the Premier League schedule for the next season is being released. And here we could potentially get the first indications how rough, how tough, how easy, or what kind of level of beginning of the season Arsenal will have. Given the fact that apparently, if I'm not mistaken, there is no September international break. The next one is only in October or early November. There will be about 8 or 9 games we're going to play in a row without interruptions. And that actually is going to set the tone for Arsenal's season after the transfer window. So that is going to be very interesting to see whether we're going to get any of the big dogs in the first 10 games, or we're going to get all of them, maybe. Who knows? Imagine if we have to play in the first 9-10 games, all the big 6 sides, the 5 of them. and some other big teams, like stronger teams like Newcastle, Villa, and teams like that. It actually could be quite pickings for Arsenal, I'm not going to lie. So obviously, time only will tell. Everything will develop, but that is for the future. That is for Wednesday. Wednesday's stream, definitely regarding this, is going to be absolute fire. Now, the one issue I need to bring up, which is obviously not so much your concern as my concern, is that StreamYard, for the free version of streaming, right, is only 20 hours. 20 hours of streaming. Afterwards, you get basically booted out unless you buy the subscription, which means I have 7.5 hours left before today's stream. After today's stream, most likely, I will have about 6 hours and 20 minutes left, which means I can stream for about 5-6 days. And afterwards, I cannot stream on StreamYard. I will either have to make a separate StreamYard account, maybe Streamlabs account. Maybe I will have to go put myself on OBS. Who knows? But obviously, each of the sides has many advantages and disadvantages, so I will definitely look into it, because I talked about with views on sport. He said that maybe I should try to have a separate email to make a different account so I can basically juggle both of them. And maybe that's only gonna see. We don't do that here. We definitely don't do that here. Let's be real. We don't do that here. Let's be real. And who would like to see my ugly ass on that page anyways? But yeah. Now let's get into some transfers, because it's been dilly-dallying all over the place. It's been this and that all in this regard. So what we're going to kick things off is Nico Williams, because Nico Williams as well is one of those topics which concerns Arsenal quite massively, because Arsenal is in this position where we need desperately, you could argue, sign a left winger, because that position has been quite suspect for us overall. Wrong link. That position has been quite suspect for Arsenal, and we need to improve on it with Martinelli, with Trossard. So definitely there are more questions than answers in that regard, especially if we sign somewhat of a striker. The question is who we are going for in that position. There have been speculations with Semenyo, but I don't think that's going to happen. Buemo looks like he's going to go to United or Spurs. So ultimately that leaves, well, Nico Williams and Rodrigo, right? Nico Williams has been on the list. You just made a list. If you watch WWE and you know Chris Jericho, you probably know what I'm talking about here. But on the list, he has been for quite a while, for a year. Obviously, he's been linked with Barcelona quite heavily. In recent days, he's also been linked with Bayern Munich. With Arsenal, it has been quite on and off situation happening, right? On and off situation, right? Because Arsenal were linked with him. There were some talks. It got gone pretty much grave silence to some extent. And now it's been up once again. And now all of a sudden, Nico Williams is aware that Barcelona want Luis Diaz, for example, from Liverpool, and is willing to adapt sportingly, financially, and personally to move to the club. Obviously, only time will tell what he will decide. Now, obviously, there are also reports that Arsenal are still are looking at him, because we need a left winger, and Arsenal meanwhile are bidding hard, whatever that means. Maybe they are offering the package, and not that kind of package, but different type of package for the player, and are offering a 9 million net annual salary, which neither Barcelona or Athletic Bilbao can match. And this is the offer we have done for Nico Williams. Yeah, see, I know he has release clauses. That is the thing. We know all that. There is no question about it. If we want to sign him, it will be release clauses, or we're going to do another Real Sociedad and we're going to try and negotiate a bit more money, but it can be paid in installments, of course. However, the offer I'm talking about is the fact that apparently, according to Sports Witness, Arsenal have offered him a 9 million euro net salary. So, euros to pounds. That is the first thing I need to figure out. I'm going to do this off, not showing on screen. That is about 766,000, right? Now, if we do this, and now we put this all into calculator and all this jazz, right? And we divide it by 52, that is around 147,000 pounds net. 147,000 pounds net salary, which is actually not so bad, given that he, if I'm not mistaken, the taxes are about 40+% in UK once you are in the top earning tier, right? It's actually not too bad. Let's be real. He half goes to taxes pretty much and half he gets. So that's actually not too bad. But so that means if he gets 147 million, thousand per week net, it means that for gross, that is nearly 300K. Now that is a bit of a problem, especially since we have nobody on that money, 300K. We have Havertz, who is close to that with 285. Jesus is somewhat close with 265. And if Saka signs the new deal, you could definitely make an argument that he definitely is going to be around that 300K mark. So if Nico Williams signs for Arsenal, he will be instantly on it. So this could be the big thing. However, there is a bit of a twist in this. Obviously, Nico Williams apparently has asked for time to exhaust all options of joining Barcelona before considering other clubs. And to be honest, that's understandable. He wants to do what's best for his career, whether he wants to stay in Spain, whether he wants to go to Arsenal, whether maybe he wants to go to Bayern Munich. Obviously, nothing is concrete as of yet, but Arsenal apparently have made an offer. They have put money on the table, basically on paper, let's be real, and provided him what he could be receiving at Arsenal. And basically, it looks like Arsenal, if this is true, because all of this is utter crap at the end of the day until the player holds up the shirt. Let's be real. Let's not get carried away with this. But this will be very telling. Let's just put it that way. This will be very telling over time what's gonna happen in that regard. Big up Beards Gunner, long time no see, my man. Very long time no see. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. Big up AJ, hope you're doing well today. Big up Sammy. All I know is Arsenal is not going to sign any striker. They just want to confuse a stingy Arsenal. Like, based on reports, what we are getting, if you watch my today's TikTok or short I uploaded, you probably would get where I'm coming from. But basically, the TikTok was all about the fact that Arsenal, regarding Gyokeres and Sesko, how it gets reported to us fans and media is like this. It's Monday. Positive news about Gyokeres, negative news about Sesko. 24 hours. It is Tuesday. Negative news about Gyokeres, positive news about Sesko. 24 hours, it is Wednesday. Positive news again about Gyokeres, negative news about Sesko. And it goes round and round and round and round. And Kylie Minogue settings, spin and all this. You spin me right round, baby, right round, and all this stuff is going on. But obviously, there's also the third option, which we're gonna get in a second. Big up AFC always. Hope you're doing well. Arsenal bring out new training match. Where are the signings? Yep, Arsenal have brought out new merch. We're gonna look at it, and we're gonna look how the merch looks as well. Big up, damn. Is that Billie Eilish? Maybe. No, cannot. Maybe. I don't understand this club. How can we pay for Havertz 65 million that don't even fit in our profile? But Gyokeres is too much, 80 million euro for proven striker. Like, that is the paradox of Arsenal at the end of the day. The way I say it, Curtis Shaw as well says it, and many Arsenal fans say it. If it makes sense, Arsenal won't do it. And that's how it feels like Arsenal are doing their things every single goddamn transfer window, unfortunately. Big up Jeffrey. Hope you're doing well today. Everyone's bigging up everyone. You love to see it. Big up Why Not. Hope you're doing well today, my guy. Big up BBK Sports. Big up BBK. Hope you're doing well today. Hope your ACL is doing well as well today. Hope you did all your exercises. You iced your leg and all this stuff. Hope you are not in as much pain as you were during the day and everything. So hang in there. Genuinely hang in there. And while we're at it, go subscribe to BBK Sports as well. And while we are at it as well, if you haven't already, please drop a like on the stream. Aiming for 25 to 30 likes today. Maybe we can hit it, maybe not. Would be fantastic if we did. And if you enjoy the content, subscribe. The more the merrier. Join the gang and everything. And maybe together by the start of the season, we can reach 1,000 subscribers. Withdrawn from Chase. Arsenal intends to prepare a new offer. Literally contradicts the very next sentence. It's always like that. There's always that one word that pretty much puts a position where the specific journalist has a cop-out. He says could, should, would, all the usual suspects in everywhere. Or he basically says it in such manner that it sounds that Arsenal are going to do it, but they might not do it at the same time. So they have a cop-out all the goddamn time. Because then they have the excuse, Oh, but you never know with these transfer situations. 1 second it can be done, other second it could be a U-turn, and that's it is. Good evening. Good evening. Big up AJ, big up everyone. You want to know something? We need to stop wasting days. Preseason starts July 23rd. Yeah, July preseason in Singapore specifically begins July 23rd. Arsenal are most likely going to fly out on like July 19th, July 20th. Let's be real. And the first preseason training in Mallorca or wherever Arteta organizes them is in 2 weeks. Well, a bit more, 3 weeks, almost 3 weeks. It's in the first week of July. So it's not that far off. Let's be real. And if we head into preseason without the main signings already, as we all know, we start our season on a back foot in general because our main opponents, on paper, at least currently, are City and Liverpool. Let's be real. And they have done their business. And there is indication they could do even more business. Each of those teams have signed 3-4 players. Arsenal have signed nada. So we are already 4 steps behind. First things first, we need to catch up, provided they don't push away from us. And then we need to overtake them. So basically, we need to sign about 6-7 players. And have you ever seen Arsenal signing 6-7 players in the window? And there is your answer at the end of the day, isn't it? What happens if Zubimendi goes to another club? We have to back up. No idea. That is the other thing. No idea if we have a backup plan as well. Because let's be real. We have heard everything only about Zubimendi, because Zubimendi has been done since, January, apparently, according to Sam Mogwell and all these guys. He's been announced twice already as well. He was doing medicals about a few weeks ago, and he was sunbathing at the beach in Spain, apparently, and all this stuff. So, not gonna lie, haven't heard anything about Plan B. Haven't heard anything about Plan B. So that is the most worrying part. Because the reports suggest that Arsenal consider this deal about Zubimendi done and dusted. Everyone considers the deal at Arsenal is done and dusted. But what happens if, until it's paid, nothing is done and dusted? What happens if Real Madrid, July 1st, bang, first day, 51 million into La Liga's bank account, and La Liga calls Real Sociedad, you know what? Arsenal deal is going to fall flat because, I don't care about your negotiations with them because Real Madrid just paid the money. And he is in 2 seconds at Real Madrid. What we going to do then? Genuinely, what we going to do then? You want to know something? I fully believe Partey is gone. That for me is a big worry as well. Partey's contract, like the current one, runs out in 2 weeks exactly. In 2 weeks exactly, and in the last week or so, we haven't heard a peep about the contract extension whatsoever. About a new deal, about best deal, or nothing. And the worst part is we haven't heard anything, no other places, because at least a week ago or so we heard about Barcelona and stuff like that. At the moment, it's grave dead silent. Nothing from Arsenal, nothing from Barcelona, and as well nothing from Saudis. Because I think Saudis also most likely would be interested. Partey obviously said he wants to do what's best for him. He loves obviously playing at Arsenal, but he needs to think about the family, about the future, because let's be real, this arguably will be his last big contract he gets unless he moves to Saudi. Let's be honest ourselves. He just won Ghana Player of this year. Big up to him, by the way, for that, right? 1-0, but it is what it is. But yeah, ultimately, it's all up in the air as well. This article is some BS. Arsenal bidding hard. What the fuck? Exactly. What does that even mean? Arsenal bidding hard. And I think that bidding hard, if you can trust this, obviously you cannot. But if you make these what if scenarios, as Top Gunners would like to say, because what if he doesn't get injured? What if we don't get the red card? What if Pedro MOL wasn't against us? This is what Top Gunners say, right? So what if this is true and this bidding hard means Arsenal have presented their offer, which is obviously there, offering 9 million net annually, right? And they are trying to kind of swoop the deal quite quickly, maybe. But otherwise, bidding hard sounds some weird, physically jiggy stuff you do with your missus during night. I'm not gonna lie, bidding hard. That sounds about that type of situation there. Nico is simping for Barca. Exactly. And we hate simping for the scraps and rejects in Nico. Like, it's nuts. It actually is nuts. But if you think about it as well, he's simping for Barca. Wasn't the same? Didn't we have the same manager, aka Mikel Paella Arteta, right? Who said about 3-4 years ago that we only want to sign players who want to play for Arsenal, who will die for the badge and all this stuff, who will fight for the badge, leave blood, sweat, tears for the badge on the pitch and everything. And then we go for Vlahovic, who basically laughs at us. We go for Guimaraes, which we obviously screwed ourselves up, but he goes to, what's his face, Newcastle. Now we're going for Nico Williams, who wants to go to Barcelona, who wants to go to Bayern, not Arsenal, by the way. So it's actually kind of nuts. You want to know something? I honestly believe Thomas Partey goes back to Spain. Wouldn't be surprised. If he goes back reuniting with Diego Simeone at Atleti, I would totally understand that as well. I would totally understand it. Bidding hard, yeah, that's the... It sounds nuts. It sounds like a bit of a, as I said, jiggy move you do with your missus at night. I'm not gonna lie. The baby goat is here. Where? Baby goat. That's like what? Cousin of 29 or something? In my opinion, in the case of Arsenal, no news is good news. This news pisses... Oh, yeah, that is true. Yeah, in Arsenal's terms, no news is good news. It just pisses you off even more. And to be honest, speaking of left-wingers, because I have to put this in there, as we all know, Arsenal are on their knees. Well, I wouldn't say on their knees, but Arsenal fan base, and I'm not gonna lie, partially myself included, I am on my knees for Mikel Arteta and Arsenal to sign Rodrigo. Like, you cannot deny this. You would genuinely give your left arm for Arsenal to sign Rodrigo, right? There were talks about 90 million, 85 million and stuff like that. However, hold on to your shirts, people. Hold on to your shirts, because Al Nassr and Al Hilal ready to offer 130 million euros for Real Madrid attacker. No, it's not Cristiano Ronaldo as well. And it goes, it's never quite at Santiago Bernabeu and blah, blah, blah. It goes, 2 Saudi clubs are ready to shout, blah, blah, blah. And according to reported by Spanish outlet, which I'm going to open up to see who it is, obviously it's Fish Eyes. It's ficayas.net. So that is already a very worrying sign. But, of course, it is who else if not Mr. Rodrigo himself. It is Rodrigo. And now we are again in this kind of predicament. I'm not gonna lie. There were lots of talks about this as well. If Rodrigo doesn't start for Real Madrid in Club World Cup, if he doesn't play against Al Hilal in 2 days, he most likely is leaving Real Madrid. But it's not even guaranteed that he's going to leave, because he still wants to talk with Xabi Alonso. He wants to play on the left. If they cannot guarantee him that, maybe they will sell him, because they have signed a right winger as well, a youngster from Argentina. So maybe that we'll see how that develops in those terms. At the same time, do you think Arsenal will be the only club in the world who would love to have Rodrigo? Like, serious talk. And if Arsenal are going against Saudis, we are not getting him. Let's be real. Just pay the money and are we a big club or not? Like, go figure. We genuinely penny pinch every single time. Arteta, his acolytes are always their needs for man no pause, all Salt Bay, all genuinely Salt Bay, feeding his meat into Arteta's mouth and everything. No pause actually as well, because we saw the video. Who it can be, because yeah, it is Rodrigo. That's the thing. No, Saudi. Y'all want everyone in your league. It's going to piss me. Like, that is the thing. That is the thing. Saudis are dumping money like no tomorrow. They're dumping in money like no tomorrow into football. They want to kind of develop that infrastructure. I get why as well, because there's lots of money in it. But this is now worrying as well. I'm calling this now. If Rodrigo does leave, he is ending up at PSG. I don't see that. This is the nuts part. I don't see him going to PSG, because that would genuinely mean that PSG would be kind of obligated to sell either Barcola or Desiree Doué. And according to Enrique himself, he doesn't want to sell any of them. So it's a bit of a weird and sticky situation in that regard. That is the only problem with PSG. They have pretty much 4 wingers, and they play all across the front line. They all can play in every ring, pretty much. A bit less Kvaratskhelia, but the rest of them can play on both wings and everything. So that is a bit of a iffy situation for them, in my opinion. I'm more keen for employee exits, sackings, and players is what I'm excited on my knees for. Who y'all gonna buy next, man? They want everyone. They can afford to buy everyone. That is the biggest thing. With Saudi money and everything, they can afford to buy everyone. And that is the worrying part. They have the money, they have the abilities, they can offer salary tax-free, by the way. So if you get 500 grand a week, you're gonna get 500 grand a week. That is something like you cannot kind of ignore. They have Kvaratskhelia, exactly. They have the Kvaratskhelia, Barcola, Doué, and Dembele. Most of them can play on, all of them can play on either wing. Kvaratskhelia obviously more sticks to the left. And Dembele and also Kvaratskhelia to some extent, not Kvaratskhelia, what I'm talking about. Barcola have played at striker. So go figure. Genuinely go figure. PSG are trying to do the national front homegrown team. Yeah, they are. PSG have said it quite openly. Also, their owner has said it quite openly that they want to build the best French young team and future French team possible. Hence why they are also linked still with Konate. And don't be surprised if Saliba's name comes up at some point with the move away from Arsenal. You won't only see Real Madrid's name there. You will also see PSG's name there. Because they need to replace Marquinhos eventually. Let's be real. They need to replace Marquinhos eventually. And Marquinhos currently is 31 years old. So they have to do it sooner or later. And in 2 years, it would be a very decent option. Even next year, it would be a very decent option for them to go after. And let's be real, PSG also can pay the money. So it could be quite rough times. They have Kvaratskhelia, Doué, Barcola. They don't need exactly that. For me is the case. They more need a striker to replace Gonçalo Ramos than anything. But otherwise, the French, like, they can sign Mateta if they want for striker. That will be good enough for them. The amount of chances they create, Mateta will ball out like no tomorrow. Let them buy Arteta. Would be nice. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? Full French team would be tough. Not gone. Full French team would be tough, definitely, but they want the core being French, basically, because let's be real, Nuno Mendes is there for ages. Hakimi as well is going to be there. Donnarumma, they don't want to let go. Kvaratskhelia is not going to leave that soon. I would assume Vitinha, João Neves also are going to stay there unless someone plays exorbitant amounts of money, and I'm talking about hundreds of millions even now, or near that. So definitely there will be some iffy situations. Low-key, he's still at player sales, and this is what I'm most disappointing about Bert and Ernie's summer business coming into the club. That is the case. But this is also another thing in this regard, because if you recall, was it June? Was it May when season just ended? There were some vague suggestions and reports suggesting, which obviously is backed up by PSR and FFP and all that crap, all these 3-letter words, everyone sticks to it like it's Holy Bible, that Arsenal can spend about 250 to 300 million without worry about PSR, which basically comes to a point where Arsenal actually can spend to 250 to 300 million on anyone they want. After that, it's basically sell to buy, like we basically did last summer, right? So ultimately, also there were some reports saying that Arsenal for those 250, 300 million are going to sign midfielders and forwards. And defender purchases and everything will be solely dependent on the sales. That was also told in May. But as we all know, you cannot trust a single goddamn word these media people say, because only person who knows the truth is Arsenal themselves, you could argue. However, based on how we are dealing the striker business with 2 strikers, Watkins in the backups and everything, kind of get the feeling Arsenal don't know themselves who they want. That is also a big kind of inkling in those situations. Big up, 12 likes, big up to you all. If we can push it up to 20, I would be grateful forever. And big up to you all, 640 subs, big up to you all. You are doing phenomenal job. Thank you so much for 640. Let's go for 650 now. Arsenal don't get scrap on player sales free. Yeah, we just release them for free. Lookman has a 47 million pounds, but buyout clause if you don't get Rodrigo, get Lookman, then more on. Could work, definitely could work. Only worry, for example, for me with Lookman is that he has been in 3 different Premier League teams. Like, who has been? He's been at Leicester, he's been at Everton, and I don't know, Fulham or Newcastle, or there was another team where he's been at. And he hasn't been that good there. That is the thing. Maybe now he would be better because he has established himself, maybe found himself as a player. Maybe he would actually hit the ground running for now. But that is also obviously the risk you have to take sometimes. Big up Mubarak. Hope you're doing well today. Well, for me, Rodrigo can combinations with Sesko and then Nico Williams with Gyokeres. Yeah, you see, I get it. I get your point. But for me personally, right, it doesn't matter. Sign Gyokeres or sign Sesko at striker. For me, more important is that you get Rodrigo over the line no matter what. I think so. Basically, for Sesko or Gyokeres, key will be that left wing as well, because the right wing we have Saka, right? How he's gonna look after the injury, the surgery, and everything next season. Only time will tell. Let's be real. Will he get more injuries? Will he return to at least 90% or what Saka was? And everything, we will have to wait and see. The biggest worry is the left side. We need someone there as well. And for me, kind of doesn't matter we get Gyokeres or Sesko. Obviously, we're going to get one of them. At least I hope so, right? But I want Rodrigo over that still. That is at least my selfish look at it. Whether you agree with it or not, let me know down in comments as well. Lookman, Rodrigo, Paixão, good left wing options. I would say Rodrigo is the number 1. Lookman would be 2, and Paixão would be 3. For me, I'm not worried about PSR. Just want the crap and feeble players out the door. True, but you say that, right? Where is it? You say that. Who's big up? Why not? You say that, right? Look at this. Look at this, what I was saying today. Zinchenko, AC Milan, 10 million pounds. This is what I was reading today. Seriously, at work. From Corriere dello Sport. I was reading it, translated, obviously, but 10 million pounds. And biggest issue, why it is so low, who would have guessed, is the 150 grand a week we are paying him weekly. Why the fee most likely is so goddamn low. Striker, Sesko. I want Gyokeres and Rodrigo. You need of the series of striker. Retzegi is an interesting one. He has hit his stride. He has one great season. I would like to see more of him. I need another one good season from him. It's something similar, mostly like Semenyo or Kluivert. Like they have the breakout season, and now they're basically the flavor of the month. Like I need more from them. Genuinely need more from them to see. I want Rodrigo, sell Gabriel Martinelli and Trossard, and buy Visa. Oh, Visa would be nice. Visa would be nice. No, Vlahovic, hell no. No chance in hell. I don't want Keane. I don't as well. He genuinely was useless in Premier League. Obviously, he was at Everton and things like that, but still quite useless. 13 likes. Big up to you all. 13 likes, 13 viewers, 16 now. Big up to you all. If you haven't, please do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe button. So what, that doesn't make him good enough? Yeah. We made profit last summer, then no way we need to worry. Exactly, that is the biggest thing. You would think that after we have made profit from last summer, we would be doing deals like this. Left, right, center, and we would have about 4 deals done, like City or like Liverpool, right? But we have nada. Zubimendi is, God knows what's going to happen still, and we have to wait still 2 weeks and a half, by the way. Kepa, oh bloody hell, let's see what goes there. And then there's indecisiveness between Sesko and Gyokeres. Like, we have no certainties, no guarantees, no nothing. 30 mil would be getting for him 20 at least, but hey. You want to know something? Jonathan David? Yeah, Jonathan David's still available. As a backup, 100%. Don't disrespect Sesko. Like, I'm not doing that. Don't talk to me here. It's playing in top 5 league, balling out. Don't talk to me about that. I'm not disrespecting Sesko. That's not on me. That's on, who was it? AJ, I think it was. And he's also not disrespecting Sesko. It's just the fact that Arsenal want to sign Sesko at the same time as he is not basically proven. He hasn't done it for extended period of time because we don't know how he is going to look in Premier League. Gyokeres, he has played in Premier League, ironically enough, when he was, not in Premier League, but he has played for Brighton, didn't work out there. But he has done it in Championship, for example, and he has done it for two consistent seasons on a top high level at even Portuguese league. And for me, that is more proven than actually, of course, than Sesko. And that is the biggest thing for me personally. Who in the right goddamn world thought that Haaland would not do his mark in Premier League? Who in the goddamn world thought this way? If you talk about that Chelsea wannabe actor Rory Jennings, he's just blind. Let's be real. Anyways, where was I? Here we go. The backup for the backup. As we all talk about strikers right now, let's do this right now on the spot. If Arsenal apparently cannot get Gyokeres or Sesko, allegedly, Arsenal think that asking price, the backup option is Ollie Watkins. Now, if Arsenal think that the asking price for Gyokeres is too high, so they will focus on Sesko or Ollie Watkins, which is very, very ironic given that actually Gyokeres' price is less than Sesko's price. Maybe for Sesko you can pay it on more favorable terms. Besides that, based on the face value, what gets reported daily, and it also feels like it changes daily, by the way, Gyokeres is cheaper. Like, let's be real. And for me, with Watkins, is also the thing. If we sign Watkins in January, I would have no problem with that. I would still demand another striker right now. Signing Watkins right now as the number one guy would be underwhelming. Very underwhelming and very disappointing. As a secondary option, yes, please. Yes, please. As the main guy and the only one, no thanks. Like, that ship has sailed, in my opinion. Like, that ship has sailed for me. Sesko, David, same difference. David has no fee, which you would think would excite Asna and the penny pinchers. You would think so. And to be honest, Andrea Berta is also, if you look at what he did at Atletico Madrid, he was very well known for signing free agents, quite a bit of them. Let's be real. And then flipping him for quite nice money as well. There's no argument about that if you look on the books. Because I did this on one stream when we just signed Andrea Berta. Basically, at the time when he started working for Simeone and Atletico Madrid, right, signing players, selling players, and everything, over the course of the 12 years he has been there, his spendage, net plus, well, basically plus sales plus, fucking hell, I can't speak. Sales plus purchases, right, comes out to be negative 105 or 110 million. So basically, over 10-year period, 12-year period, his net spendage is one price of Declan Rice over 12 years. Like, that is actually phenomenal, if you ask me. Especially if we talk about Atletico Madrid and stuff like that. We all know Haaland would eat them. Exactly. Everyone knew that. I don't know who he was talking about there. I would honestly rather Ollie Watkins than Sesko as well. But that is not enough. Like, for me right now, Watkins is not enough. In January, that would be enough. But we need someone bigger right now. Yes, Watkins is Premier League proven. Yes, he can score goals. Now, the thing is, when you look at this, he plays under Unai Emery. And Emery makes his attackers look like the best attacking force in the world, pretty much. Let's be real. Because we saw what he did at Arsenal with the attacking force. We saw what he did at Villarreal, at Sevilla with his attacking forces. And obviously, firsthand, as I said, it was at Arsenal with Lacazette, with Aubameyang. Golden Boot winning Aubameyang, by the way. The way those two were banging in goals, Europa League, Premier League, it was actually quite insane. So you have to take that with a pinch of salt, especially since they would be coming to Arsenal, to a manager who has never coached a striker in his life. He doesn't know how to coach and manage them because he has had countless strikers in his team. One he made play as a 6, which was Lacazette. Other one was playing left wing back, which was Aubameyang. Then he bought Jesus, which he ruined due to injuries. Then there is Havertz, which is not even a striker. Then you saw Fallen Balogun getting binned off. Then you saw Beered getting binned off. Chidobe Martin ran away from him. And then you will have Edin Nketiah, who basically feels like stayed for the bag, 100 grand a week. Like, so there is no track record of Mikel Arteta actually coaching a striker at Arsenal. So that for me is arguably, no matter who we get, a big, big question mark and a big, big, massive worry. Wiener, I assume, is Werner one, right? And number 29, Sancho wrecked Bundesliga in goals scored and they proved unable to replicate. True, but I kind of also believe that, for example, if Havertz went from Bayer Leverkusen straight to Arsenal at the time when we still had Wenger and Emery, we would be seeing different type of Havertz, in my opinion. That's just my biased opinion on this situation, right? This is obviously those what-if scenarios, I'm not going to lie, but we're going to roll with it. I think the fact that he went to Chelsea, he had about 15 managers in 2 seasons or 3, is actually quite bad for any player, let's be real, for any player's career. But I'm not making any excuses for him, let's be real. Sesko has a far better team around him that Alexander Isak had his span. You can make that point either. True, especially given the fact that Isak played together with Zubimendi, with Merino, with Odegaard, Oyarzabal, and up top he had better team around him, more better players. Let's be real. Those were the players. Sesko has around him quite a good player. Let's be real, better players than Sociedad had at the time. He has Openda, he has Javi Simmons. Who else is there? I'm skipping. Campbell was there at the time. They have actually, Lookman was there as well at some point of his career. So definitely there are some very strong players around him. So he should be banging in goals. And I'm more surprised that nobody is looking at Openda. Everyone is focusing on Sesko, which is quite unique in this situation because Openda is banging in goals left, right, and center. He's 25, which means he's more established. Let's just put it that way. And this season in Bundesliga, he had 18 GA in 33 games. That also is nothing great compared to Sesko, let's be real. But given that, who is the manager? Marco Rossi or whoever is at the moment at RB Leipzig? Who's the manager for Leipzig? I'm skipping all these names all over the place. Who is the manager of RB Leipzig right now? Because last time I remember it was Marco Rossi or someone like that. Oh, it's Zlotlov. Right. The Hungarian manager. Right. Basically, they played a different style where Sesko wasn't actually an out-and-out striker. He was a bit more pushed downwards and to the side, which was more focusing on Openda. So it's a bit weird situation, right? But still, doesn't make an exception for that. Oh, people are having fights in the chat. Sesko is uncoachable. You want to say Sesko is uncoachable in general, or just Sesko cannot be coached by Mikel Arteta? Because those are two different things. Sesko, for example, under Emery, I think would bang like no tomorrow. Oh, I would love to have Ivan Toney at Arsenal. Right now, signing Ivan Toney, that actually would be phenomenal signing, I'm not going to lie. 40-something million, just bring him here. But he won't come. I think. The salary he gets there and everything, Al-Ali, I don't think he would move per se. I genuinely don't believe he would move per se. There is no Sesko hate. Stop being so damn touchy, man. People are too big of marshmallows these days, aren't they? Big up everyone who has liked the stream. You are fantastic. Victor Gyokeres is cheaper and proven England. True, that is also a big fact. But yeah, people are just fighting over Sesko at the moment. Oh my goodness gracious. Lord have mercy. Oh, Chelsea are winning against LAFC. Pedro Neto scored 1-0. Maybe we'll see. Why is Giroud not playing? What the hell is this travesty? Giroud is holding the bench. Hey, yo, who is the manager? Cherundolo. Are you dumb? Put on Giroud on the pitch. Why is Giroud holding bench? What kind of travesty is this? Giroud is holding bench. What the hell? Put on the best looking striker in the world. And anyways, this jackass just said no coach, no playmaker, no ball carrier, no striker can help Sesko. And this, I like, don't get a. Let's not do this. Let's not do this. Why you hate Giroud? What he has done to you? Do you still hate him for the Leicester season and Ozil's assist record and everything, or what? Like, this is kind of nuts. This is nuts. Oh, come on, be nice in the chat. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Anyways, let's move swiftly on before someone gets an aneurysm or something due to Sesko talk and everything. Let me fix my camera for a second because this is a bit of a mess of what's happening with the camera as well. Anyways, let's move on because otherwise I'm gonna explode. What else is here? What else we have to talk about today? Some bad news. Bad news, because this could be very worrying if you are an Arsenal fan. Because this is a guy I would absolutely love to have at Arsenal. And unfortunately, it's looking very scary hours. Apparently, Gyokeres has attracted interest from Bayern Munich this summer. Now the season has ended. His release clauses officially are active at £68 million. This is a bit worrying, but Eze, I would love to have Eze at Arsenal. Eberechi Eze would be fantastic at Arsenal. Can play number 10, can play left wing, and everything. Like, this is the same situation as Michel Olise last summer. Olise, 45-50 million pounds available. Arsenal don't even glance an eye on him. He goes to Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich's player of the season, you could put a very strong argument for that. Now he's in the Club World Cup, one of the best players in Bundesliga for French national team in general. Right? Eberechi now is linked with Bayern Munich. This is a bit worrying, I'm not going to lie. Leicester season, especially for the comments he made. Who? Oh my god. Eze should be our player. He's so much better. Yeah, 100%. I would love to have Eberechi Eze at Arsenal. He's also an Arsenal fan. He used to be in our academy, which is also striking me surprisingly hard that Arsenal are not back in for him. Eberechi Eze himself has admitted that he would love to play for Arsenal. And Arsenal just, well, by the looks of things, blatantly are just ignoring him and don't want to sign him. They think Ozil. Odegaard is the best, it's the next Gandhi, basically. He's going to solve all the Arsenal's problems, and he doesn't need any backups. He doesn't need any support or anything. This season was prime example what could happen next season and be even worse. So why not go for Eze? He can also play left wing. Obviously, I still believe that Eze is better at being more central, specifically, but we can mix and match. We can switch it up as well. I wouldn't be against that. There's rain outside. Oh, fuck. But yeah, the fact that Eberechi Eze is maybe Bayern Munich are looking at him is a bit of a worry. I'm not gonna lie. It is a massive worry. Now, this will be good for some people who like Jorrel Hato, because there apparently have been some more talks with Arsenal and Jorrel Hato in general. This is some good news. I'm going to say this one more time. Sell Gabriel Jesus and Kai, then buy Sesko and Gyokeres, then everyone is happy. True. There's actually not too much into it. Let's be real. Not too much into it. Sell them both. Although, who would buy them? That is the other topic. Let's be real. We could have sold Jesus last summer for 50 mil to Palmeiras, and Arsenal didn't. Now we are not going to get 50 million whatsoever. whatsoever. Let's be real. And now we are stuck because let's be real, nobody would complain if we basically sold Jesus, Havertz, and got Sesko and Gyokeres. Nobody would be angry, pissed off, or anything. Everybody would be over the moon with this. Then if you add a somewhat decent left winger, right? Gyokeres plus Sesko, that is what? 70, 75, 150. Add Zubimendi, that's 200, Kepa 205. Then you sign, for example, even Nico Williams for the sake of all the top gooners. Nico Williams, because personally I don't rate Nico Williams that highly, right? That's another about 60 million, 55. That's 260. That is what we can spend without selling players. And that's pretty much everything sorted for Arsenal. Then you can sell the Dross like Zinchenko and all these bums. And then you can buy your Hatos, your backup for Saliba and everything. It doesn't sound that hard, does it? Doesn't sound that hard. Robert, do you not remember Baku Giroud? Thank you, Asna. I couldn't do this without you. Like, I get it. I get it, what you mean by that. It's a big dig. Just like Oxlade-Chamberlain, what he said when he just moved to Liverpool after Liverpool won against Arsenal and everything, and what he said afterwards and all this stuff. Like, it's something similar, but I don't hate Giroud. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not the big hater on Giroud in that regard. Just like I don't hate, for example, Robin van Persie. Many Arsenal fans do. I get why he moved. I just hate the fact that he had to go to United and win their Premier League with them. Otherwise, I have no problems with, for example, Robin van Persie. But many people do. Yeah, if we signed him, Hato would be left back, left center back sorted. You want to know something? Is an Arsenal fan. Yeah, exactly. And why Arsenal are not in for him? Arteta says he wants to sign players who want to play for Arsenal. Eze is prime example. He was in our academy. He said his dream is to play for Arsenal. And you want to tell me he's not going to give 110% on the ball, on the pitch? Sell the Hospital brothers. Sell Tomiyasu. Sell all of them. And an Arsenal reject. How the fuck we reject? Like, to be honest, Harry Kane also was in Arsenal's academy, and Arsenal rejected him. And if I'm not mistaken, if my memory doesn't deceive me, reasoning was because Arsenal considered Kane being too chubby, and he wouldn't become a good striker. You see what that has happened right now. I would say back. Yeah, I get it. Oh, Maybach music, Mikkel music in the building. Eros is in the house. Mikkel music. Here we go. Long time no see. I don't see you in any streams as well. Everything good with you? Just got back from the beach. Oh, you're taking time away from Arsenal. I see. Hit the likes and sub, people. Exactly. Big up to Eros, everyone. Listen to Eros. If you haven't already liked the stream, aiming for 20 likes for today's stream. If not, if we have surpassed that, I have no idea. Hey, let's go for the big 30. And subscribe, aiming for that 1K real soon. I like Hato, but I'm sorry, Theo Hernandez available. Do that first. I get it. I totally get it. The Theo Hernandez thing and everything. For me, there are some, let's just say, gray areas about Theo Hernandez, more specifically defensively. Exactly, that is the case. That is that. That's Arsenal for you. We have rejected quite a few of these youngsters who have become big players. Let's be real. Big up Eros, exactly. 16 likes, big up to you all. Just like the Judas Fabregas that went to Chelsea and ruined the Europa League chance. To be honest, Fabregas went to Barcelona and then from Barcelona went to Chelsea. That's a bit different. But the issue what I have with Fabregas is the fact that, well, not as much with Fabregas, but more with Arsene Wenger. We signed Mikel Arteta to replace Fabregas in the first place, which was just the dumbest thing in the world. But on top of that, when Sesko was leaving Barcelona, we had a chance to re-sign him. And Wenger said no to that. And in the end, he went to Chelsea. That is the biggest issue of them all regarding Cesc Fabregas. Why didn't y'all reject Jesus every time? Yeah. Mikel music. If Hato has a Champions League winning left back next year, same with the Prem. To be honest, if we can get Hato banging like we did with Timba, that would be fantastic. Well, by the way, speaking of Timba, right? Why we are not going for Timba's brother, for example, Quinton Timba? He looks like a very, very good midfielder. Very good from Feyenoord. Why we are not going for him? Like, serious question. Why we are not going for him? Because for me, that actually speaks some big volumes. We actually could go for him, and that would be actually very, very good player to get for midfield. That would be actually quite fantastic, but it might be just me. Best players from countries preview. We're gonna do this at some point. I don't personally hate RVP, just his choice for United. Exactly. That for me is the biggest issue. I don't hate RVP, it's just the choices. I know the Dutch people to a certain extent hate RVP because of that he never shows up for national team, and Klaas-Jan Huntelaar showed up instead of him whenever he came on as a sub. And as much as they love Arjen Robben, missing 2 one-on-ones against Spain in 2010 World Cup also didn't do him any favors. Iker Casillas did a mazza there, and of course the rest is history. Who did that? Iniesta scored the winning goal, if I'm not mistaken. Like that was as well. Screw them. Quinton Timber, Ball, and San Engine. Yeah, and for me, that's actually, yeah. Have Arsenal signed anyone this summer? Nope. However, there is some good news, Eros. You just got back from the beach. I know you have some extra money lying around, correct? I'm not mistaken, right? You are a rich man. You release Mikel music on Spinning Records or Sony Records or whatever. So I have an offer for you. I genuinely have an offer for you. Kid you not, I have a massive, massive offer for you. You want this? You want this? New Arsenal merch dropped today. Woohoo! New Arsenal merch dropped today. Leaps and Mr. Zubi, dude. It's Kepa and Zubi, and maybe not. Giroud, Xhaka, Koscielny, I wish I could erase them from Arsenal's history books. They level the hell of disrespect towards the club after leeching, sponging up. I get it. Giroud is a big issue with the fact that we could have won the league if he could finish his dinner, and also would have broken the assist record. Granit Xhaka, he was here for how many? 5, 6, 7 years Granit Xhaka was here, right? He had one good season. And we still haven't replaced him as well, which is the nuts part. He had that one good season where Arsenal were flying with him, and we still haven't replaced him. That is the nuts part on top of everything. Let's be real. And of course, the third one, Koscielny, the thing what he did with Bordeaux, with the Girondin de Bordeaux, with an unveiling and everything, that was disgraceful. I'm not gonna lie, that was disgraceful. I mean, it's the Liverpool signing. Makes too much sense to sign Quinton Timber. I know, right? Makes way too much. Talk to me, Rabba. So we have specifically for you, Eros, Arsenal Adidas Kids Edition training shirt. 50 euros. That's euros from my end. For kids, specifically for you. I think you are like 4'6" or 4'7", if I'm not mistaken. I'm not gonna lie, so we'll see. Man, ain't no big training match. I got the notification. Big up Everest. Hope you're doing well today, my guy. Hope you're doing well. Arsenal has dropped so many merchandise while I can't find our Liverpool's new kit yet. We have dropped 3 different types of merch, if I'm not mistaken, since the season has ended. It's been either 2 or 3 different merch drops we have done, genuinely. We're the flipping signing at the moment. Should just text back. No, you know how this works. You buy the merch, Arsenal get the money, they don't give a shit about the signings, and Kroenkes put it in their own pocket. And then you get Kepa. That's how Arsenal works, basically. I can't deal with this Arsenal anymore. Everyone else is signing. It is what it is, yeah. No striker. And to be honest, 3.5. We haven't replaced him, and in general, no, in 6 years. Exactly. That's actually kind of nuts. Beautiful training. It looks like 23, 24. Like, to be honest, I closed the page. For example, not this per se. I like this one. The grayish white one with the blue and light blue looks a bit like, I don't want to say, it reminds me of I don't want to say Real Madrid kit, but Real Madrid had something similar, full white, and then there was a different full blue one, like similar colors, something like that. Like this one for me looks very, very nice. Personally, for me, I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna buy it, but it looks very, very, very nice in my eyes. Yeah, see, 100%. Like keep the striker. Yeah, I can keep play striker. Zubimendi is gonna play right back at some point. You just can count on that. Here's the long sleeved ones, 75. Oh, here's the vest if you want to go Bruce Willis style, Die Hard and everything. What else is here? Trainers. Anything in trainers? Nothing special. Nothing special. Jacket, shorts. 45 euros for shirts, for training shorts. That sounds kind of mad. I'm not gonna lie. What else is there? What else is there? Where is it? Where is it? Come on, load. Page numero dos. Oh, some polo shirts, hoodies. Winter jacket, just in time for summer. Arsenal winter jacket, just in time for summer when it's 27 degrees to 30 degrees outside. Just in time. Oh, bloody hell, Arsenal. Grey Stadium Parka. What the hell is that? Oh, see? Arsenal Adidas 25-26 home knitted gloves. Again, just in time for summer. If you are ever too hot in the summer, put on your gloves, because you will appreciate the being hot too much again afterwards. £15 for this, Kind of wild if you ask me. Kind of wild if you ask me. Exactly. I'm telling you, just in time for summer. Arsenal winter coats, Arsenal gloves and everything, just in time. It's not about what they did or didn't do at the club, because they were never good enough to step up to the level required. My distasteful hate is based on their words and actions. I get it. And I think for Granit Xhaka is not maybe as much as about as after that. I think it's more during the time when he was the captain. He said all the Arsenal fans to F off, drop the armband and everything. Like, I think it stems from that regarding Granit Xhaka more than anything, in my opinion. And stop this merch crap, getting serious. Make money with no trophies, like it is. Yeah, just in time for summer. Big up my boss. Do you see Nico Williams completing the chances Martinelli can't? I can see him creating more chances because, in my opinion, Nico Williams is more technically gifted. Outside the box, he is a bit better finisher. But overall, it gives like Martinelli 2.0 vibes, like a driver without a speedboat. Basically, that's what it gives me. Because he does the same thing for Athletic Bilbao as well. Oh, but he gets so many man of the matches in La Liga. Because the man of the match in La Liga is fan voted, by the way. And everything. His brother, Iñaki Williams, it's his birthday, by the way, today, Iñaki Williams. How old is he? 33, 34? Iñaki Williams, 31. I would love to have him at Arsenal. I was saying about 4 or 5 years ago, Arsenal should sign Iñaki Williams. Obviously, I wasn't here, so I was just saying it on socials and everything. And people called me dumb and stupid. But hey, I would take Iñaki Williams over Nico Williams any given day at the moment. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. Wait till they drop the set of Chinese mugs and cups next season. Oh, bloody hell. Don't even do this. Please don't do this. Like, it will come from Ming Dynasty. You will have, I don't know, Wu-Lei on it and everything. It will have the Chinese fire dragon that symbolizes everything. It will be on it. And it's gonna sell out in about 2 minutes. Just like the China we released this season. Just ended. Gloves and a down jacket. You don't want one? What? Eros, are you not satisfied that you are sitting in your home with AC on, it's plus 35 outside, and you are too cold in your room because your AC cannot be turned down? That's what it's meant for. You put on the jacket, you put on the gloves, you rub your hands, you drink a bit of whiskey of the China mugs that you could buy on Arsenal shop, and everything. You put on the Arsenal half and half scarf from Banana and something like that, Banana Days, and you're golden. It's all thought out. It's all thought out, I'm telling you. Big up to Eros. It's 1-0 Chelsea still, by the way. I'm sure you could find the non-Arsenal version of this Adidas merch for 1/10 of the price. Oh, 100%. Marketing 101, you pay more for the label. That's always the way. Basically, because if you look at most of the things you buy these days, about 80%, okay, maybe I'm exaggerating, 70 to 80% of the price is the label. Let's be real. Let's genuinely be real. 70 to 80% of the price is label. Because you can buy, let's just say, a suit, right? Let's just say $400, right? You slap on Armani, Dolce Gabbana, Versace, Louis Vuitton, $5,000 instantly. Like, that's it. That's all you need. If you could genuinely, it could be a total scam, but you could fake these things as well. You get the badge, Louis Vuitton and everything. You sew it on yourself on random suit, and you just sell it online, and someone definitely is going to buy it on eBay or somewhere else. Fashion FC. Exactly. It's Arsenal Fashion Club. What the fuck, bro was like 22, 23. Damn, he's uncle. Nah, he's old. He's been around for the longest time. Yeah, Chelsea 1-0 up. Man Club, Mid Cup. It is. No, Xhaka did a similar dickhead thing as Giroud thanking Asta for the win. Oh, was it last season? Was it before last preseason when he said basically that I had to move away from Arsenal to win trophies or something like that, that moving away from Arsenal was the best thing he could have done, and that was straight after he did the double, like winning Deutsche Pokal and winning Bundesliga and got to Europa League final and everything. Was it about that? Problem is that since they all sell out quickly, the club is going to keep making these even if it tugs the fan base, because the Delulu ones will, yeah, definitely, 100%. As long as there will demand, there will be supply. And looking at, for example, from people I know are also Arsenal fans in the chats or in WhatsApp groups or on socials and everything, when I look and people say, I went past the Emirates today. It's off season. And the Armory was full of queues, full of people still. Like, as long as there will be demand, there will be supply to the maximum extent. 100%. And that is the biggest problem. Until people stop buying it, nothing is going to change. PSG owner has ambition, winning mentality. Yeah, he said it himself. He wants to win Club World Cup and then win Champions League again next year. You would never hear Kroenke said that. Why can't I see why not text in the chat? Weird. Oh, it happens at times. It's not just why not, it's Boyton as well at times. It's in different chats. On random occasions, they just disappear. Genuinely disappear. There are times when, for example, I don't see my own. For example, I chat in Shane's stream, for example, right? And I don't see my own comments I put in. There are times like that as well. I laughed in our... Yeah. The Trump tariff war exposed to the label and marketing scam. Dolce Gabbana, Louis Vuitton bags they make for the big companies, they sell for $20-30, genuine fakes. Yeah. And the nuts part is, unless you are an expert guru in that specific field, you're never gonna tell the difference. Unless you know the specific way, for example, they do the stitching, or how the label is, or the stitching inside for the walls of the bag and stuff like that goes. Unless you know these things, you're never ever gonna tell the difference whatsoever. That is the biggest thing. That is the nuts part. I had a huge issues with StreamYard last week. Has anyone else had this issue? Had to leave in the middle of a stream because I had a huge echo, unfortunately. I didn't have echo. I haven't had echoes as of yet. I think it was like 3 days ago, StreamYard was down in general. Nobody could go live in the evening. And people got thrown off streams mid-streams. Like Carl, the Gun Down was complaining about that when he was doing his dark stream and everything. Some people could not have gone live. I couldn't as well. I just went on OBS live. So, yeah, it happens that as well. He wants to dominate football. What Kroenke wants to do, promote much. Yeah, exactly. You know, Chelsea owners didn't know shit about football. He thought 12 people could play, but guess what? Even trophy, yeah. Let's all attend the OBS masterclass to switch to there. To be honest, I'm fine. I know how OBS works. I know how to do the things, and that is the case for me. The biggest issue is StreamYard has 20-hour limit how much you can stream per month, right? From specific account, like email per se, right? So 20 hours, that is about 16 streams for me, 16 or so streams or 17 per month, which means I have like 4 emails. I'm not gonna lie, I have 4 emails for different purposes and everything, which means I need to have another email to put it on StreamYard to connect my YouTube account, just so I can stream for those remaining other half of the month. Because the timer is gonna reset on July 2nd only, which is in 17 days. Which means once the time runs out, I will be on OBS no matter what, unless I connect a different account to this, which is nuts, to be honest. And unfortunately, I cannot afford to pay 45 euros a month for this. I cannot. At least in my current situation financially, I just cannot. You're getting more popular year by year. Maybe we will see you in League Gunners link up the Twin Bros. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. However, it's funny that you mentioned this, because this is the thing I'm going to finish the stream on. Because you all know that we did the Top Gunner roast on the comments. If I could find it. Gyokeres, Pigeons. I have all that saved. Top Gunner's comments. This one. You all know that I had this. Somebody mentioned this on my TikTok. I had this as a TikTok comment. And that was some time ago, right? I kid you not. I'm going to pause it. If I could find this right now. If only I could find this right now. Yes. Let me do this. I'm going to quickly do a screen cap for this. Save. Where is it? Watkins. Seriously, it's actually not I got called this. It's nuts. It genuinely is nuts. Fair enough, I can't afford anything, so I always look for free stuff as well. I even made emotes and sub badges on MS Paint by myself for Twitch. I get it. I totally get it. That is the biggest thing. Go subscribe to It's Me Everest as well on Twitch, by the way. I do the same thing. I do all my thumbnails and graphics when I need them on Canva myself because it's free. I do the free CapCut version. Use CapCut for shorts and TikToks. And obviously I use this free, and OBS obviously in general is free, so I use it there. So basically, this is what I got about a week ago, if I'm not mistaken. About a week ago, right? This is what I got today. And I kid you not, this was today. This is what I got today. This is when I talked about strikers, where we missed Dovbyk, Tony, Sorloth, and all these guys we missed on striker market. Jurasi market opportunities, we just bin them off, right? Dovbyk benched at Roma by Dybala. Sorloth benched at Atletico Madrid by Alvarez. Jurasi is 30 years old. Marmoush is going to be winger at City, not striker. Kvaratskhelia is on a 290 grand a week. Go partner with Lee Gunner to complain and whine. Why am I being compared to Lee Gunner all of a sudden? What have I done to this world? By the way, it's a big compliment because Lee Gunner is huge. He's massive. He speaks facts and everything. There's no argument about that. If there was a chance in the world I could do streams with him, I would do it without shadow of a doubt in a heartbeat, right? But am I getting some recognition because I get called this or something like that? No, I'm not from Ukraine. I'm from Latvia. I'm not even from Ukraine, by the way. Not even close. Lee Gunner, Robinho, don't even. Canva is a lifesaver. Made up so many resumes and Canva to apply for jobs. Yeah. I do the same thing. I use it when it's it's very good, to be honest. It's very easy to use. It's free. And you can download it in very decent quality. And if push comes to shove, you can adjust the quality when you need it. The country England played when Skelly made his debut. Yeah, Latvia. Yeah, we lost 3-0. Yeah, but yeah, in that regard, it is definitely. But people are people are not big fans of me, to be honest. Ironic part is the guy who just called me Lee Gunner and go to moan with him. He actually put that comment in today, and he subscribed to my TikTok. Make it make sense. Like, make it make sense. To be honest, he agreed with the point I was making on the second answer. But in general, otherwise, it was a kind of a nuts one. But it is what it is. But yeah, in general, I think on that note, we're gonna end today's stream because like it's 10 past the hour and everything. I need to relax. I need to chill. Tomorrow, a new day. Have to pray Arsenal sign someone, so I have something to talk about, or if it's gonna go all basically down the drain. We actually are planning to do what's its face. We actually are going to do some sort of a best, let's just say, French team I have seen in my life, as I've obviously for about how long I've been watching football. For about 20 plus 22, 23 years, how long I've been watching, 25 even, let's be real. For example, for that, 25 years I've been watching football. We're going to do the best French 11 I have seen. Maybe best English 11 I have seen, best French, Spanish, like stuff like that. We might do something like that maybe in the near future, because talking about this transfer crap is actually kind of annoying. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of pissing me off to some extent. Big up to everyone. 17 likes. 18. Big up to you all. Much love. Much love. I'm trying my best, but people don't like me. That's the nuts part. Well, it's not the nuts part. That's the actual part. Let's be real. In general, people don't like me no matter what. I might as well talk about Arsenal women than men's team at this point. To be honest, women's team win more. They sign more players already. And yeah, I get your idea. Thank you for the stream. Big up, AJ. Big up. Big up to you all. If you haven't already as well, please do me a favor and like the stream. Subscribe if you're new around here. Have a great evening. Have a great day tomorrow. Take care. Stay safe. I'm going to see you all tomorrow. Let's see. If you haven't already, by the way, check out my TikTok. Check out my YouTube short and everything. If you haven't already, going to see you very soon. Big up, Mike. Big up, Mike. Fantastic. Thank you for your support. You've been all amazing. Take care, stay safe, and see you very soon. If you want to contact me, by the way, I'm on Twitter, Mr. Robo19TV, or X as it's called right now, and everything, if you want to catch me there. So take care, stay safe, and see you very soon. Big up to everyone. Peace.